Welcome. These are horse racing selections for Saturday, the 19th of April, not February, as I said last night. Thanks, Carl, for pointing it out. It is April. I am hoping you are all very, very well. All right, International Positivity Week rolls on into the weekend. Before I get through anything else, it is really, really important up front. I say to you, just don't get carried away. It's been a nice couple of days. The worst thing you can do is get overconfident and think that this is some sort of like easy go, win every day type gig. It's not like that. It never is like that. But we've had 2 nice days on the bounce in International Positivity Week. It doesn't mean that will carry through to Saturday. Saturday's a trickier day, definitely. Less going on. I've just got the one bet, 5 horses, 12 quid. That is all I'm doing for Saturday. After the excitement of Thursday, Friday, and multiple bets and doing different things, we are one bet, 5 horses on Saturday. I know people now we're sort of into a little bit of a groove, think it'd be exciting to have more. Just be careful with what you're doing. Bet within your means. Don't get carried away. If you've done well this week, enjoy it, spend it. Don't reinvest it on a bunch of numpty horses. Don't go and pay somebody who doesn't provide you legitimate data for long term, a year at least data. All that sort of stuff, guys. Just be sensible. Like somebody said in the comments, I think they went and had a takeaway. Great, do that. Treat your loved ones. Have a takeaway if you're having a good one. Don't just then triple your stakes and think, well, I'm going to get even more. It's not happening. All right, so we're going to do the review of Friday, Good Friday. It was a Good Friday. We'll do the review of that. We'll get into Saturdays, and we'll have a little word on our man Mason, because I haven't mentioned the last couple of days, but he has been running, and I know a lot of you have been following our man Mason. Well, our man, he's a lad. Our man, our lad Mason. Anyway, there we go. So, review of Friday was good. So, went for a bit with 33.75 was on, and we returned. What did we return? 80. Was it 80? I think 80 something. Hang on. Don't want to misquote here. 86.98 back, profit of 53.23. Most would have got that. I mean, I did give the bookie advice out, but Charming Whisper 5 o'clock Chelmsford was the one that was a little bit different. So 50 quid for the channel we had. It started off with an absolute zinger, didn't it? Hitched, great one. Love it when you come out on the right side of a head bobber, particularly at a 20 to 1 shot. I think SP was 22s. Great start, and then sadly on this bet, it didn't happen. Couple of these bottom ones flattered to deceive a little point, but nothing back. So 0 return on bet 1. But the point was, when we had Hitched go in, the way I did the staking plan, we had 7 other horses in different combination bets with that one horse. It was a bit of a lean, and bet 2 was more helpful. So Hitched we hit. We went on with Dingle. Callum was only one out of the places, but Dingle was the one. So Hitched and Dingle together give us a win double on that. We were rolling on the 420. It would have been great. We had 2 chances to hit ourselves a win treble on there. Poncho was the closest with a place. So we came away with 1 place treble and 1 win double, and single win on Hitched, single win on Dingle. So very profitable for bet 2. Anyone using 365 Hills, 88 Unibet, Betfred, Ball Sports, Betway should have been fine. I think everybody was fine actually on that Poncho. I think that was fine. So that was all good all round. Bet 3. We started bet 3 with a win, Dingle, and then again we had going on to 5 different horses. So hopefully some of you can kind of see. I know for some of you it will go over your head, all right, and that's fine. You like simple stuff. For some of you, hopefully you can see what I'm trying to do here is if you get some of these cooking, it gives you options rolling onto other things. So you're increasing your chances. Now clearly you've got to be in horses with chances. So we did all right here. Fantastic Fox, no good, but Kingdom Come, I think he didn't quite get the breaks. I think on a run that race on a different day, you might have had an even better outcome. But Framed it did, and then Charming Whisper was fifth. But Sky, 365, Unibet, Betfred, Betway, Boyle Sports paid out for fifth. Not all bookmakers did pay out for fifth on Charming Whisper, so not everyone would have got this. But we had one place double on one Trixie, and we had the place treble on the other Trixie. So that was all right. And this bet 4, we had Kingdom Come, but the 3 non-starred horses didn't really do much at all. So might as well not put them in. And then bet 5, Cardano non-runner, All Right Sunshine, no. I mean, it ran okay, to be fair. It wasn't last. It was like 80 to 1 or whatever, but it was about 8th or 9th. Billy Mill, no, but Charming Whisper placed. So we got place double with the non-runner, place single back, and a refund back. So there's a few bits back on that bet 5. Okay, that was it. So I think for the week we're now over 100 to the good, and we are about 80 odd to the good for the year now, which is a very nice place to be. And that puts us about 16% ROI. So our ROI has gone from minus this week to plus 16% for the whole of 2025 thus far. So good. Right, 5 horses for Saturday. I didn't like anything at Haydock at Musselburgh. Nothing hit the grade. I mean, there's a few that were close, but the 5 that hit the grade are these. But nothing at Musselburgh or Haydock. We've got 2 at Fairyhouse, 1 at Cork, 1 at Newton Abbot, and 1 at Huntingdon. Newton Abbot has got a precautionary inspection at 7:30. So if you're watching this video in the morning, it may well be this horse has come out because the meeting is abandoned. From waterlogging because they're expecting more rain. So I'm taking a chance on this one, but if it comes out, then there's 4 left for anyone who wants to do a straight up Yankee. The channel will have it as a non-runner with the other stakes. So first up is a maiden at Newton Abbot. That's not where everyone else wanted to go, was it? 12 runner maiden at Newton Abbot, Barford Groover. The betting has it 6th best. I have it somewhere in the region of 3rd to 6th best. So there is a version of this race that has this horse framing. There are other versions that don't, but 25s, 33s and places is a good enough price to try our luck on Barford Groover. That is in. I mean, bare form says actually it looks better on better ground, but breeding wise says it should be versatile, but there's not loads of form to go on. 235 Cork. I've got 3 Irish ones. No insider contacts, by the way. This is just actually just looking at the form. It's just me. May night, 235. It's a very interesting runner. Changed stables back end of last year. They've run it only on the all-weather since. If you look back to last mid-year, it was rocking and rolling on the old turf. Less good on the all-weather. Is it Keithan Kennedy, I think? Is it Keithan? I think it's Keithan. Keithan, if you're watching, I'm sorry if I've actually said that wrong, but Kennedy is just 2 Ks, Kennedy's surname. He is on, and he did a lot of good rides on this last year, and particularly Cork. So yeah, its best rides, the best runs it had last year were with this jockey, even though we've had a stable change. And if you look at so this is another thing to look at sometimes, gives you a bit of an indication. The last few times this is run, Park last times, I think actually, it was the other times it run, it was massive prices because they'd been running it over six furlongs, 7 furlongs. The horse looks like a mile horse, so they run it at unsuitable distances, and it was clearly very, very unfancied. Last time was a bit more promising on the all-weather, and I think that was a bit of a last prep run to get it in for a good performance here. It's significantly shorter in the betting than it has been on any of its last runs. So 14s, I think this one's a bit of a jiggery pokery, sneaky McSneakersons possibly. It may well turn out to be a bit of a duff one. We'll see. The thing as well with Saturdays, there's quite a bit of rain around, and I'm conscious about that. So that's another reason why I'm sort of been a bit careful with what I picked. But May night's in 235. Then we go 320 Fairyhouse, Must Be Obeyed, inconsistent. Best at Fairyhouse and Punchestown, so I expect this horse to go on to Punchestown Festival as well. this is basically the time of year when it tends to run better. If you look back through, it's got previous framing in this race as well. So it must be amazing at 14s. Then we've got the 3:39 at Huntingdon. Who knew we were going to the 3:39 at Huntingdon? Cassie Crudo. It's an interesting race. 8 runners, right? So you prefer it to stay to 8 runners rather than go to 7. There's unexposed horses in there, but I just think this price of this horse is based off its last run at Fakenham, where it just didn't seem to do anything at all. Previous to that, it'd been running quite well, and yeah, I like a jockey booking on this one too. So that's him, and then 5:05. We're finishing off these Fairyhouse handicaps. Mullins has got a lot of horses, and I've looked at all of them. I think there's some really interesting runners and some nice prices in this. And I was between a couple in this 5:05 Fairyhouse, but on the star system ratings, Sea of Stands is the one that comes out with a star, and nothing else did. It's been interesting. They've run it in graded races. It's a handicap debut. Off a marker 132, it might be a bit high. The trick I think with the horse is its jumping has been a bit in and out. So of a good round of jumping, this horse I think is a lot better than the mark of a 132 horse. I think it's more a 140s horse, rated horse, if it can get the jumping right. Last time it was terrible. It had a really bad start if you watch the last race back. But sometimes watch races back, but watch what happens sometimes before the race even starts. The horse wasn't in the best position. It didn't jump off well. It sort of slightly reared up, and then it was pulling its head and then stumbled on the first fence. That's not how you want to start. Now, in that last race, it went off something like 7s. You could have backed it the night before that race around 33-1. It was heavily backed last time, and that was in a race where Mullins had 6 runners out of 8. He had the first 5 home, and this was the last horse. This finished physically last. So Brian Hayes is trying his luck on it this time. It was Sean O'Keefe last time. I think that's right, the right way around. And yeah, I think it's worth chancing in a race where I think the Mullins horses are really interesting, all of them. But that's what's in. All right. So the bet 10 times 20p win doubles. So it's my way of doing it. If you want to do an each way Canadian or Super Yankee, you do that. This is what I'm doing for the channel. 10 times 20p win doubles, because on a 5-horse bet, I just don't, unless they're massive prices, there's not a massive point of putting each way doubles in, because you're basically sort of just about getting your money back depending on which combination of prices. So 10 times 20p win doubles. So I have slightly more on the win part here. So it means if we do get 2 up like we did the day before, then that's slightly better than doing it as an each way Canadian. Then we've got 10 times 15p each way trebles, 5 times 15p each way 4-folds, and a 25p each way 5-fold. So that outside possibility that we managed to hit the 5 together will be significantly more enhanced with the extra money on the 5-fold. So it's a bit like going for glory, but on a bet like this, one of them will do you right for quite some time. And then we'll do 50p each way singles, all 5, which means it's £12 exactly. Overall, the best bookies to maximise place terms, bearing in mind there's no extra there, most are 4, no extra there, most are 5. To get those place terms, Sky are standout above that, but the rest of them is Hills, 365, Unibet, Betfred or Boyle Sports. All the others are one less in at least one of the races. So you want one of those 6 bookies in total: Sky, Hills, 365, Unibet, Betfred or Boyle Sports. That's that. All right, and then a word on Mason. So we didn't back his horse on Thursday. I thought it was a bit short. He had a nice ride and it won at 8-1. Bit of a drift. And then Friday he had 3, and we had previous on Destinado. And then he had the other 2 horses, both beginning with Rogue something or others. And I wasn't keen massively on the bigger price Rogue one, which was the middle runner, which didn't run much at all. The last one I thought was okay, and I think it came second, and he ran a really great ride on it. But I didn't think it was backable at the price at all. And then Destinado, I did quite like its chances, but 13-2 was the price when I looked at that the night before when I was doing videos, and the thing went off at 40-1. It's a really, really good example, yet again, of a horse drifting for no obvious apparent reason, but actually, it's not like insider knowledge says that horse is rubbish or whatever. They were trying on that horse. It won last time for us, and he's backed up the run there, and he's gone wide as well in the straight. He's done really, really well to get there. So he ended up with 2 second places. He's got no rides. He's got no ride Saturday. He's got no ride on Saturday. And he's got 1 ride potential on Sunday. So we'll keep an eye on him. And if you made a few quid off Mason the last couple of days, well done to you. It just wasn't right for the channel. So just because you get an angle or doesn't mean I don't back it blind every single time. The price has still got to be right. And I'm saying that, and I know I've put a couple of his horses in that we've backed on here that didn't hit the star system. But I'll do that by exception, not as every single time. But at the moment, he's profitable to back. He is profitable to back blind. What seems to happen is the prices are slightly artificially shorter the night before, and then they get a bit bigger before the race. Not in all of his selections, but that's some. So I wonder whether there's a little bit of kind of the inside track. The odds compilers are looking and seeing his form and thinking that's a good thing. The average punter is still overlooking Mason Paytel as a jockey, and therefore money's not going for him. And whether that's what's at play, I don't know. But that 13-2 out to 4. I mean, somebody said it was 11-2. I didn't see that, but 13-2 out to 40s is ridiculous. All right, that is me. I'll leave it there, and I am thinking I'll probably try and do Saturday night for Sunday. So we've got obviously Fairyhouse and Cork, that goes on for 3 days now, so I think there's 8 meetings in total on Saturday, but I've got the 5 horses, something like 5 or 6 on Sunday, and then about 8 on Monday, and Fairyhouse and Cork are both on for 3 days. They're going to be the most interesting meetings, I think, for each of those days, but we'll see what else there might be. Alright, that is me. Have a lovely Easter weekend start. I mean, depends if you start on Friday, might be getting into Saturday, and I'll try and speak to you Saturday night. Thank you very much. Bye bye.